Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of the Full-Time Sports Network's Cop Talk. That's right, we are back and still undefeated. unlike them other Reds, them fake Reds, them Manx. Loving life. Good evening, Dr. Blake. How are we doing, sir?
I'm all right. Just I guess enjoying the Thursday night football. See my partner trying to sneak onto the screen to try and move the cat. Like you see her like in the mirror, just looking like a blatant creep. I know.
Everybody wants to be on. Everybody wants to be on Cop Talk, man. I know.
But yeah, gents, I'm well, man. I'm well.
Good. Preds, good evening, sir. How are we doing?
I'm lovely, thank you very much, and we're unbeaten, so I'm even better, mate. And can I just say happy birthday to me mum, Mrs. Preddy. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, mum. Love that, mate. Love that. I hope you got her something nice, you know.
Of course, mate. I'm a favourite child, aren't I?
You're the only child.
No, I'm the favourite. You were sharp there. Hey, you're very sharp there. I've got to sharpen my pencil for you now tonight.
Yeah, mate. I hope you got Mumsy something nice, mate.
Yeah, man. Always.
Make sure. Good. Yes. So, gentlemen, because we didn't get a chance to, we will kick it. Oh, look at that. Ain't that nice? Hey.
Oh, Tabrice is in there. Oh, there you go. Cheers, Billy, mate. Thanks very much, mate.
That's nice, you Billy boy. Lovely.
Love, bro, love.
Okay, so gentlemen, what we will do first and foremost is we will start with Wolves game first, because we didn't get a chance to have a chat about that. So we'll have a brief chat about the Wolves game before we move on to our European exploits. You know what I mean? Kings of Europe and all that. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. So quickly, Wolves, first, just the team rating, overall team rating. And I know you call it Dr. Blake is harsh. But last week good scores.
I'm fair. I would I'm gonna say a 7.
Okay. Blake says a 7. Preds?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give a 7. It would have been an 8 if we had a better first half performance. But 7, the boys recovered, done well, got the result. Happy days.
Okay. So, Blake, just quickly explain to me why a 7.
So, I think what was really good to see was Klopp making significant tactical changes during the game. Yeah, and I felt
before we used to be on this program before, I think about nearly 2 years ago or so, we used to cuss about waiting too long to make changes.
And yeah, he just changed the shape, and I thought that was key. And this is why, I think this is why, although we looked bad, I think we looked bad because of our tactical system, as opposed to just the individual way the team was playing. Hence why I think once we changed it and the way we've like come back from a terrible first half, I just thought, yeah, it was quite impressive. So for me, the 7 is because of Klopp's changes, how the players responded, and just that staying in the game when we're not playing well. So I'm sure we'll talk about Szoboszlai at some point in time, but that run where he clocks the second fastest speed in Premier history, I think it's 36.6 km. The fact that obviously we've lost the ball, Max struggling, and he has sprinted back to cover him. It's these types of things that I'm enjoying. So although it wasn't a very polished tactical performance, the heart, the mentality monsters that we're showing, the teamwork, the team spirit, none of this like raising hands and shouting at anyone like, why have you lost the ball? Managers fighting first, then talking later. So it's these types of things that I'm really enjoying.
Okay. Preds?
Yeah, I'm kind of in line to agree. I think the first half, Gomez had an absolute, like, Neto turned him inside out first half. You know what I mean? And the nutmeg was like, oh.
Listen,
I was like that.
I wanted to put my arm around him, man. Seriously, from here, trust me.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be for the rest of the game. And like Doc said, I think the second half, the changes that he was made, and I think the changes were always going to be made at that particular point, because I mean they're trying to juggle these players coming from international duty, X, Y, and Z. So I'd like to think that substitution was planned. If it was planned, it was a masterstroke, because we came out and all of a sudden we were doing what we should have done in the first half, which was to run in behind.
Yeah.
No one ran in behind. We was all, and if like in the world of football, any defender will love defending when the ball's in front. And we just weren't, we weren't finding our passes, we weren't clicking. It was a bit off the cuff. Second half, as soon as we went in behind once, they dropped back 5 to 10 yards already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we went and exploited them. We was a lot better on the ball as well. A lot more progressive as well. So yeah, it was a really good change. And it's really pleasing, really pleasing.
Tell me something, gentlemen. All right. How would you feel? All right. It's not going well. Blah, blah, blah. Salah puts it across. You bang it in. And the man just says, come off.
Got to be honest, I ain't done that much in the game to say, yeah, you can't say nothing.
Eh?
Yeah, Cody. To be fair, he done the right thing, mate. Just keep it shut. Don't say nothing. You've scored a goal. You've left that in the gaffer's memory. And like I said, I think it might have been already, like it was already been planned.
Oh yeah. No. They said it before. Like his number was coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were ready. The subs were ready to come on. Blah blah. His number was coming up. But then you think to yourself, you know what? Come on, man. I've got them banged one, man. Like, give it another 5 or so. No.
It's about the team, not about the individual.
Yeah, and he just weren't playing well enough. And yeah, like he could have scored a hat trick, but that wasn't gonna like disguise what was quite a poor performance from Cody. Again, though, I don't necessarily think it's his fault in that. I feel that the tactical system he were trying to play wasn't clear, and that I think in recent games the teams adapted to having the number 9 playing like Darwin. He wants to run in behind and play like an orthodox number 9, whereas obviously Cody does the false 9 thing, what we were doing towards the end of last season. But then if Cody's doing the false 9, then Mo then needs to play like more of that kind of out and out wide striker. So does Jota, and it's almost just like Mo was playing like he's playing with Nunes. Jota wasn't quick. It just wasn't clear what people were doing, and that middle third was just too congested. So I do think Cody's performance was partly tactical as well, but yeah, like you just have to come off, man. Just this is it. Like it's the big time. If you're not doing it, come off.
Okay, Billy, don't worry, man. I do see the comments. I will get to them shortly. Yeah, just give me a minute, and I don't want to jump the gun because there's something that you're mentioning there that I will be asking. So don't worry, Billy Smith. I will get to your comments.
Billy's on his toes, boy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Billy's on his toes, mate. Okay, so gentlemen, Gomez watched Dr. Blake.
So I don't think he was as bad in the first half as what people think. I'll qualify that. I think sometimes we've been critical of Trent because Trent gets exposed, but quite often Trent gets exposed because of the team's tactical shape. I think Gomez suffered from that in a sense of he was asked to play like Trent, so he's coming into midfield. But then where obviously Trent has been learning that role, Trent knows the positions to take up to block passing lanes, to block certain passing angles, whereas Gomez just didn't necessarily know how to play the position. Then obviously there was then the one occasion where Neto absolutely destroys him. Like it's just hard to watch, isn't it? Because he takes it down wide, sees him, then gives him the megs, then should have created the second goal. But I think if you, and I know it's a big thing to minus, but I think if you take away that one incident, I think Gomez's other struggles were more around team shape, in my view, than as opposed to him struggling individually. And I just think second half, when he's just asked to play like a normal fullback, this is your man, stop him. Neto was quiet second half. I think Gomez's 1v1 defending is still quite strong. Obviously, Neto's on fire. So that, but yeah, that Meg was brutal.
I heard. You know what? I hope that hurt the Gomez. I really do hope it hurt him because, like you said, first half he weren't the shape for him, weren't working for him. Second half, simplified his game, and yeah, like you said, that's your player. You deal with him. And in the end, it was Neto chasing him back. You know what I mean? So, you know what? I think it's good character from the lad. I think any other player, a lot of players would have crumbled from that. You know what I mean? Being absolutely torn to pieces in the first 15, 20 minutes. But, you know, he recovered and fair play.
Why would Klopp decide to try and play him the same as Trent? They're not the same player.
I mean, the system.
They are not the same player, man.
I think he just tried to keep the same kind of system, kind of keep trying to keep that rhythm going with that same system, try to get everyone on board on it. But it's also good to know that we are actually adaptable when we have got players, really good players, to come on and change games.
See, do you know what? If I'm being real, I wasn't that upset with Klopp trying that system because I was curious to see how Gomez would do, and I think Gomez is good on the ball in the sense that he's neat and tidy. Like he's not quite John Stones level, but I think he's of a similar ilk. So I just think you see with John Stones doing that at Man City, but I think the difference was it's like Gomez didn't know the role well. And if it was a mixture of Gomez, Mo, Szoboszlai not being quite at it in the first half, but someone else just like, if you're going to go into midfield, you've got to tactically, like as a team, be ready to stop that Wolves' main threat, which was on their left wing. And it just felt like he was going in midfield and then just open up that whole channel for my man just to just kill us. And he was killing us. So, yeah, I think the main thing was we changed it, but because a question that I'd ask to both of you, I know it's been in discussion. So if we want to continue playing it with this like inverted fullback, what kind of player would you be signing to play that role? Because I'm at a loss. Yeah, because I'm at a loss because Trent's unique, but who else would you be signing to play that role? Do you sign a DM who can play fullback? Do you sign a fullback who's comfortable on the ball? Do you like who do you sign for that role?
I'm looking at the new age fullbacks that we have now, who are more ballers. I said that wrong. The new age like more wing backs that we have nowadays, like your Reece James kind of players, all those kind of players now. Rather than we don't just normally have just standard fullbacks no more.
Yeah,
so it's these kind of guys that we're looking at because these kind of guys are ballers as well, not just defenders. Where before they were just titled defenders, now these guys are actual ballers because they actually play ball, and that's the kind of guy, that's the kind of person you need. He can play ball. He's got ball intelligence. Those are the kind of people that you'll need to play that kind of position.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I mean, we can chuck out loads of names, but I think in regards to another player who can play like that, I think that's like what Artie said. It's about getting a player who probably a right winger, wing back or full back, but he's got that intelligence and that quality to then who can do that. And that's probably someone. It's probably someone where we have to buy a young player like Ramsey and mold him into something like that, because I can't at the moment think of anyone who naturally as a right back goes inside and plays that way like Trent does, unless anyone else can tell us of any other right back.
And this is it. I think it's the tricky profile to recruit for, because you can even make the case of maybe you even go for a more athletic, mobile defensive midfielder who can cover wide, but then come into midfield. It's super hard to kind of match for that role. I think it's super hard. Hence why it's hard. It's tricky. It's tricky.
It's tricky because I mean, like we've already identified, Gomez's role was simplified in the second half. Not to say that he's not a good player. It's just that it didn't suit him. You know, so
didn't suit. But then even if like Arsenal, for example, I think Tierney is a really good fullback who's got a very good pass. Well, to say he's good. He's good going forward. He's good crossing. He's quite dynamic. But you see in the games where he's tried to do that inverted role, he's looked quite inferior to Zinchenko, who does it at a very high level. So this is the thing. Even someone like Tierney has struggled to adapt to that role. And I think he's quite a technically quite accomplished footballer. But obviously, with someone like Zinchenko, he's a proper, realistic, like he's a centre midfielder. So yeah, I think it's super hard to find the right profile for that role.
It is. But it's just, you know what? It's a real pity that Calvin Ramsey is suffering with these injuries, man, because of what I've seen of the boy so far, you can see he's a natural baller. As you know, like there's some guys you just don't need to teach certain stuff, they're just a natural baller. So obviously the rest of it now will be like, obviously, you know what, you know when to make your runs, know when to go, them kind of things there and whatever, and a little fine tuning. But as a footballer, the boy's a baller. Like he can play like right wing kind of thing. He's got that ability. But these injuries, man, it's just super sad, man. Super sad because I really wanted to see this boy kick on seriously.
Hopefully, it's growing pains. Well, that's too simplistic. But I haven't been following exactly what his injuries are. But I guess you almost want them to be, like I guess the key things to avoid are these muscular injuries, isn't it? Like hamstrings, thigh injuries, because these things tend to repeat. Whereas if he's breaking bones and getting stress fractures, these types of things, then I guess, hopefully they don't take away from what he can do naturally. Because then even with like Kyle Walker, if you would have seen, Pep said that he can't do the inverted roles. When he plays him, he doesn't try to make him invert. And I think this is where it becomes even more tricky, because I feel like a lot of fullbacks rely on their pace, power, and athleticism. Whereas if you're inverting, as you said, and it's about like your ball intelligence, about reading the game. It's not a pace and power kind of role. So it's tricky. It's a hard one. This is why I think for me this season, I'm just very interested and curious to see what we're doing tactically and what Klopp's plans are for the team, because I think, there's a lot of different permutations and potentials that we've got in the side. So
definitely. Before that's another thing we used to talk about. We was very one-dimensional before and didn't have much like real proper options to change it. Whereas I think now we've got a lot more options with the kind of guys we've got. You know what I mean? I think they're like technically more talented ballers now, especially in the midfield.
Easy.
Gives us a lot more scope to do something a bit different. Okay, so moving on from that now, all right, Billy, let's get to that one because I was going to ask this as well. And this also goes to the game that played tonight. Why do we keep go down, lads? What is going on? Why is it we go a goal down before we can start to kick on? And I'll be honest with you, I think ever since after the Newcastle game and we've gone goals down, I haven't been worried. I've not been worried. And even I said, I know we're going to come back. I know, but it's why do we go a goal down? And my thinking is we are going to come up against, like the Arsenal or someone like that, where it's going to be a lot tougher. Or Man City, it's going to be a lot harder. You go a goal down, it's not going to be as easy.
I think it's concentration levels. Concentration. Plus, in regards to, like, if you think about Saturday Wolves, it's a new back four. You think about tonight, it's another new back four, a new goalkeeper. So it generally tends, if people haven't played for a while, it generally tends players a bit of time to get into the rhythm of the game. Saying that though, first and foremost, you want to be tight for the first 15 minutes. You want to be tight. You want to make sure that you've got that solid base to then build on, because that's what we done. We used to, back in the day, we used to kind of just go at teams at 100 miles per hour. So hopefully, during the course of the season, where players are now starting to settle, we're going to get VVD back. It might be it's going to looking like Kanate is going to be playing alongside of him. Then you've got your Robbo and your Trent when he comes back. Hopefully, when you get your settled back four and your settled midfield, hopefully things are starting to pattern out a bit.
Okay.
I agree with that. I'm not worried, if I'm being honest. I think there was a pattern that started towards the end of the quadruple season and obviously carried on into last season where we were conceding like the first goal all the time. And I think that was more worrying because I think that was more around just fatigue mentality, players being tired, Klopp being tired, just the whole thing's feeling a bit stale. Whereas I feel this season, I can almost point to specific tactical reasons as to why we've gone a goal down. And normally it's about us trying to adapt to this new way of playing. So I kind of see it as more from a technical, tactical perspective. Because like Preds was saying, like today, think about it. You've got brand new goalkeeper. You've got Bajicic's first start since Real Madrid. First time he's played that like inverted role.
And he's playing out of position.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, maybe Klopp's thinking that that's going to be his role for this season, doing the inverted thing. Who knows exactly? Brand new midfield, Thursday night. So again, I just think the team isn't settled into a rhythm. Again, Wolves, Gomez doing that. Kwanzaa right back. Bournemouth. Was it Bournemouth? Yeah, Bournemouth.
Yeah. No, Bournemouth was 3-0, wasn't it?
No. Villa was 3-0. 3-1.
3-1.
Bournemouth scored first, right? Yeah, Bournemouth because that's it. Because in the Bournemouth game, they had like 3 early chances. All of those chances came from them stopped from us having difficulties building up from the goalkeeper into our midfield. So again, it's like the players in front and in the system who's coming deep to give a passing option. So I think it's been a lot of technical reasons that I think will improve with time as the players learn the new system. So yeah, I'm not too worried. And I think I always say to people, like, I'm quite a pessimistic, critical kind of person. So like, if I'm just like, yeah, I'm chilled, then I think people just be chilled, man. Because I'll be the first one to worry, trust.
Okay, so Wolves, quickly, Liverpool man of the match.
For me, it was Szoboszlai. Like, I know Janice gave it to, I can't remember who gave it to. Was it Mo? Did he give it to Mo? No, it wasn't Mo. Robbo, he gave it to.
Yeah, but Mo got a hat trick of assists.
Well, would have been if it wasn't for the deflected goal. Like, for me, it was Szoboszlai for his effort in the first half and then his absolute quality in the second half. And you just see how us playing him as a DM, but when you've got a DM who has got that much control over the football in terms of their one-touch play, their ability to take the ball under pressure, their ability to then dribble with the ball, forward passes, and it just breaks teams' hearts because then you just can't press us and you just have to just drop deep and then we're just killing you. So for me, I thought Szoboszlai was unreal.
Okay, Preds?
I'm in line to agree, and I think Szoboszlai is rapidly becoming one of my favourite players. Rapidly, and I'm trying to hold back the reins and go, okay, look, let the boy just settle in and let him just. But he's hit the ground running. But the things he's doing, like off the ball, on the ball, yeah, like he's rapidly becoming. He is my best, one of my favourite players, apart from Ali.
Do you know what? It's impossible to not get carried away, and I come back to the same point about when you've got these players with amazing individual ability, they can just cover up holes. And the fact is, he has shone in games, not just him. The team has shone in games where we've had 10 men. But again, we've shone in that because we've got players who can give them the ball and they can do something with it. It's not sideways passing, backwards passing. It's give them the ball. I can beat a man, create an angle, run past someone, do something. So it's almost like that one man we've got can do multiple roles. So I just
you know how hard it is, and I don't think people kind of understand how hard it is to manipulate a ball to go where you actually want it to go consistently, and his decision making is good as well. And I think if he continues in this vein, I mean, he could be one of our very integral part for players going forward.
Okay, and the donkey of the match.
I'm not going to give any donkeys. I don't think we had any donkeys. Second half performance, It was a good performance. Again, we've already discussed about the conceding early, but that must give them loads of confidence. And I'm not going to give anyone a donkey this week.
Okay.
That's a new one. That's a new one by you, by the way. You didn't give us a heads up on that one, did he?
Nah.
Oh.
If I was forced,
we did used to do that before.
Yeah, I'd say if I was forced to give anyone, it would probably be Gakpo. I was quite disappointed in the way he played. Yeah, like I know Mac 10 was also quite poor, but then Mac 10 had played in, I forget the South American team where they play at that high altitude in La Paz. Is it Venezuela or one of them countries?
Yeah, something like that.
So apparently during that game, Mac had to get oxygen, I think at halftime or during the first half, because obviously, yeah, like playing at that kind of like 3,000 feet above sea level kind of altitude is killer. Hence why that team beat most teams away from home. So I think I can excuse his performance on the fact that he literally was shattered. But yeah, cold evening was disappointing because, like I know I said earlier on that there were tactical things that the team weren't doing, but I just think he knows the role and he should be able to have a bigger footprint on games, especially like with his individual abilities as well. So if I had to choose one, I'd say Cody personally.
Okay. All right. So we are going to move on from the Wolves game. Billy says, is Klopp struggling and the players' talent is carrying them, or is it just the players not focused early enough? Must be about us conceding.
I think I've said it already. I think it's just lack of focus early doors because of the inconsistency in the back four and the midfield. At the moment, we're feeling players out. So hopefully, the players can improve on their focus and their concentration, and we can kick on.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I just think the players are just like learning like the new tactics, learning to play with one another. Yeah, it will come.
Okay. So he says, shout out for Milner. You know he doesn't play for us no more, yeah, Billy? For being the only player to play for 5 separate English teams in European tournaments. I'm sure Milner was playing when Tyrannosaurus Rex was about it now.
Yeah, Milner, boy, he looks like he's going to go on and on like Aristotle.
You know, I must say, I saw him today and I saw him doing 1-2s and running past people like with a bit of pace. I weren't seeing that when he was playing with us. I don't know where this little injection of pace come from. I was like, wait a minute.
But that's because like the derby is playing him when he wants to play him, not when Milner wants to play, or he's not doing things just to give Milner minutes. Klopp's interview post the Henderson piece in the Athletic was interesting when he said that Milner and Henderson literally like are difficult to be around when they're not playing. And then we saw some substitutions from Klopp last season that didn't make sense. We've got nothing to play for. We've got young players. Why bring on James Milner on this 70th minute when we're 3-0 up? Like it was nonsensical things that he was doing.
He's like he's appeasing them, isn't it?
Yeah, 100. Like you could just see it. Henderson always has to play, but he's absolute garbage. What I will say, Milner, that he's raised him is it's amazing. These narratives that apparently the team can't come back. The team can't show leadership. The team can't show spirit unless Henderson and Milner are on the pitch. I'd like to say that this season has completely shattered that illusion. And I think actually what we're seeing is quite a united dressing room where it seems like egos have been put to one side and everyone's just chipping in.
For real, I'd agree with that 100%. Big shouts goes out to Mr. R&B. Says, sorry, he's listening, but he can't be on. And what does he say? He says, no donkeys.
That's right. Not calling none of my players donkeys this week, anyway.
Billy says, yeah, I know he ain't Liverpool no more, but surely you got to love to see it from him. All right. Well done, Milner, son. Well done. All right. Anyway, gentlemen, we are going to move on now. We are going to move on to tonight's game. Europa League, Thursday nights. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had an early tea time kickoff. Call it what you want. Don't matter, but we're still undefeated. But yet, still again, we went 1-0 down. I know it was a second string team, but you know what? I ain't gonna lie. It was a cracking strike, though.
Oh,
Bro.
mate, yeah.
Listen, Edison, Allison, Courtois, all three of them together weren't stopping that. It was a cracking strike.
Good set
But-
piece, to be fair.
But in saying that, why has he got so much time and space to hit the ball? If he's marked up tight, he ain't getting that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, but we play zonal. We defend zonal. So what they've done is they've been quite clever in respect of. I think most teams have tried to do it. It's just about making if the person who's got quality on the ball can actually execute it, and you can see that all their players kind of went in the box, and they left that lad out because they know that Liverpool just played that zonal marking, and for a Liverpool player to get to that player in time before he shoots is very, very difficult, which we found, which we saw. So fair play to the team. They're a bit clever and creative and got the chance and executed.
Yeah, I think sometimes there isn't fault. I think you just have to applaud the actual quality, man. And I just think the actual pass from the corner was like he's hit it well. It was flat enough to get to my man for our team been able to close him down. His first touch is mint, and then it's just a great goal. I just think it's just a I just think it's just a elite goal that I think sometimes these things happen, man.
Because if you look at I'm watching like the highlights, and all our players are in the 6-yard box, and then you've got two players who out there. I think stop it. I don't know why they're out there actually, and it's Gravenberch who's the one who tries to come out and actually defend the ball. So yeah, sometimes you just have to go. You know what? Fair play. Yeah, fair play. They've done well. Shit from us.
Okay. So, team rating. And I want you to go through this time, actually, the guys who don't normally start. So we're going to start with Bajcetic, Elliott, Gravenberch, Doak, Endo, and Keller.
Well, respectfully, I'm going to let Doc do it because I haven't watched the game, so I can't really. I'm watching the highlights while everyone's talking, so I'll let you go first.
I thought Steph struggled, and I expected him to struggle. 4, I'll probably give Steph, but again, it's his first game back, new role. So yeah, I think we have to expect him to struggle. I thought Harvey was very good again, busy, industrious. Although obviously the goal that they score comes from him taking a bit of a poor first touch, and then I guess and then we get countered, then we don't recover. But I thought Harvey was bright again, and he looks to be a bit more physically imposing. No, that's really the wrong word. Or should I say, he looks to have a bit more power in his game, like the way he can shield the ball, the way he's kind of accelerating past people. And maybe they've just done a bit of coaching for him about how to use his body a bit more. So I thought Harvey was good. I thought Gravenberch was a mixed bag in terms of things not working always and then showing some absolute quality. But I think what was abundantly clear is the kid's talent. Jesus, you can see when it clicks for him and he's settled, and what a player. Reminds me a bit of Diaby that used to play for Arsenal, that kind of leggy, tall kind of centre mid who's technically very good, can burst with the ball, good balance, drops his shoulder quite well. So I thought Gravenberch, I'd probably would give a 6 to 7, but I think in terms of the levels that he showed, there was some serious levels there. Ben Doak, it wasn't his night tonight, but again, we have to expect that. 17, probably give him about a 4 or 5. Endo. I was disappointed, if I'm being honest. I wanted to see a bit more authority from him, but I guess I do have to put that into the context of when you're a DM, you are almost relying on the team being compact. For the team to be compact, you kind of players have to know their roles and know the system and know the tactics. So I feel kind of Endo's performance could probably be seen by the fact that like this team isn't fully settled. But I'm hoping by say match day 2-3 in the Europa Cup, league, sorry, that he's kind of kicked on, but probably give him out of 4 or 5 as well.
Okay, and Kelleher.
Actually made a really good save towards the end. Really good save. Kelleher's an interesting one because I'll be honest with you, I still don't know how good he is, if that makes sense. Because there's been moments where he's coming like because where he's so composed, it's almost like sometimes he can look better than maybe what he actually is. And I just think he's played so little football. He's probably had about 20, 30 first team starts in his whole career. So I think but he is so composed and he's good with the ball. I'd say a 6. Part of me thinks he could have done better with the goal, but maybe I'm being harsh.
Ooh, I think that's very harsh.
I think I'm gonna go here. With Keller, I've just seen highlights. Keller's made some fantastic saves. I think for someone who for a player again who hasn't played as much football as he'd like, I think he's going to get his opportunity, and I think we're going to see him start to thrive a bit. But that's if Liverpool can keep hold of him, because I think he wants to go. He wants to play football. He wants to be a number 1 somewhere. And I think it tells a tells a story when Liverpool didn't want to let him go this summer. He wanted to go. There was a few clubs sniffing around, but Liverpool didn't want him to go. So I think it's right. You've got Ali, who's a world-class goalkeeper, and you've got a lad who is playing the Republic of Ireland international. You've got to remember that as well. I think it's a good bet, mate, and he played really, really well today. There was he made a save with his legs when the lad was about 6 yards away, point blank.
Yeah, that's a save.
That one was a big save.
He's made another one where the lad should have been offside, but he's made a save and he's palmed it out of the reach of the player. So I think playing in the Europa games will hopefully build his confidence up and his potential will start to grow. And then all of a sudden you've got a really, really good, talented young goalkeeper who's also pushing your current number 1. So yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hoping as well. I'm hoping that he gets a lot of games in this Europa League. I mean, to keep him satisfied and to show what he can do as well. Get some game time, and hopefully that will, placate him to say, you know what, all right, cool. I've shown these guys what I can do. Maybe there might be a chance that I give a good push for Alisson. And also, if we can go on to win it as well, be another taster for him to say, look, man, this club is about, big club about winning things. Where am I going to really go? That's going to be on levels like this.
Yeah, he's at a big club, man. He's at a big club, and didn't he not play in the League Cup final?
Yes, he did. He did. Yeah.
So he's getting his chances. It's just he's like any young lad. They got to be patient and bide their time, but time goes quickly in football.
Mr. R&B says, I didn't watch the game. Tea time games are not good for digestion. Billy says, I watched the game. Must admit it was entertaining. It was an entertaining game to me. Do you know what I must say? I must give them their due. Actually, I mean that. All right, I know it wasn't our first 11 or whatever, but they did come out and give it a good go, man. I mean, they weren't just parking the bus or whatever. They actually came out and gave it a good go. So that's what made it for a good game.
Which suits us as well.
In some ways, I am pleased that we are in this competition so that these boys can get some game time. And then, you know what? That means that we can do that. And then, because obviously, like playing Thursday, then having to play Sunday and whatever. Give these boys a break. Give these boys a rest. It was nice to see them just, on the bench, have a rest. All right, you came on for like 20 minutes or so, half an hour. That's not too bad, keep your legs going or whatever. But have a rest, man. It's going to be needed. You know what I mean? If we really want to push on and be competitive, like we're saying, we're all singing Szoboszlai's praises. But what do we do if he gets injured?
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's good that we can actually say, yeah, you know what? Take a little break from this. Have a little run out if anything, but take a little break. So in that sense, I'm glad, and these boys can then gain some experience, and actually put them team tactics into a game scenario rather than just training. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think in some ways like that, I am glad for it. And make them hungry, man. Make them hungry.
It's a modern game, and look, if you remember 20 odd years ago, it's very rare that managers would change a starting 11. That starting 11, once they've got that starting 11, their starting 11 will play, and it would only be one or two players who'll miss out. Now the modern game is evolved. You have to utilise your squad. You have to utilise your squad. What's the worth of players being in the squad if you're not going to give them the opportunity when it presents itself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's put on a show, and at the start, I thought it was going to be a 4-0 battering, but fair play. Yeah, like we said. Yeah, we did say earlier, Billy, that we want to win this, man. We're not just waiting on the Premier League. We do want to win this, and we don't see no reason why we can't win it. Big shouts goes out to Bingy. Nice to have you on board, sir. It's the Bingy B. Okay, so yeah, we had 14 shots on target, 14 shots, 6 on target, and we scored 3. So yeah, 50%. It's not bad, not bad. And with the second string. Nunes watch, Dr. Blake.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting. I was literally just going to say that. So I hold my hands up. I have been very critical of this guy for a while. I've been critical of him as an individual. I've been critical of Klopp for pursuing the signing when potentially the data guys were saying, actually, let's hold fire with this for the money that we spent for him. I still think we've potentially overpaid, but that's not the issue. But no, big him up, man. I think what I've really enjoyed about him this season, forget the goal scoring for a second. Firstly, his pressing has been on levels. Against the Villa, it was literally perfect. He's finally learned the pressing system. And obviously he's so physical and so dynamic. The fact that he's learned it and he's got that natural kind of athleticism can make him an actual pressing monster. So hats off to the lad. He's obviously had to spend like a lot of time on the training pitch learning this, because you can see he's one of these quite instinctive players that wants to kind of play the game and doesn't really necessarily want to think about things too much. So the fact that he's actually applied himself in that way, hats off to him. Second thing that I've seen that I'm just so impressive is his hold-up play and his back goal game.
Yeah.
The goal against Wolves, where he the third Harvey goal, where he boys off the defender. But the goal today for Diaz, the way he's learning this thing where he can literally just come towards the ball, like secure chest control, pop it off quick, sharp pops, and you saw that like about 3 or 4 times today, where he literally just comes towards the ball at quite a lot of pace, but then can really cushion it and lay it off, move, turning behind. And I think, his back to goal play that led to the Diaz goal, I thought was like really, really good. And obviously his finishing will improve, but I think I'm just really impressed with the way his overall game is developing. And hats off to the lad, because he's clearly spent a lot of time working and honing his craft. So hands up, man. Hands up. Like, big up Darwin.
And he took his penalty well as well. Was you confident when he grabbed the ball and he gave the ball for the penalty?
So the thing is, he strikes the ball quite well. When he catches it, he strikes the ball quite well. I think about some of the snapshots he's taken. I think it was it West Ham at home last season when he crashed a left-footed half volley against a crossbar. He smashed another one. He had that header. So he does strike the ball quite well. And apparently the training staff have been, so say the coaching staff have been working with him in training on having the correct head positions when he's like striking the ball in movement. So hopefully, like we will see a bit more, I guess, accuracy in his finishing and him not rushing. But if the ball's still in, or when the ball's in like a good position, he strikes the ball well, man. I personally think he could probably take free kicks. Like he gets a nice shape on the ball as well. So yeah, penalty wise, I was confident, man.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't. Let's say I was like 75%, to be honest.
You know what it is? Because I think because Mo's a bit similar in terms of them being volume finishes and not always clinical, but I feel sometimes they're not clinical because the touch that they've used to set the ball to shoot hasn't always been good enough. So then the ball's slightly stuck underneath like their feet, or it's not quite in the right position, and then they don't necessarily get a good contact. But I feel, yeah, if Nunes gets a good contact, I feel like it's going in, or it's going towards the corners, or it's a good strike. And yeah, I think now he's not rushing his game as much. Yeah, listen, man, I think once he adds the consistency of his finishing, and by that I mean like, can you score the chances that the team are making for you? So when they're putting you through on goals, like Newcastle, can you score those chances? Like forget the 30-yard screamers and these types of like half chances, but the chances that the coaching staff are working on for you to get, can you take them? I think he takes them, carries on with the over improvement to his game, and I never thought I'd be saying this, but we could be looking at like a world-class striker. Jesus Christ.
I tell you lot, give the boy a chance, innit? Give the boy a chance. Like he's a rough diamond when we got him. And I think in regards to, he was one of those who played off on the edge, right? He played on the left for, was it Benfica he was with?
Benfica, yeah.
Yeah. He played on the left of a free, and it was like, you know, he was instinctive and it was all in front of him. But now he's playing in a different style of football, different style of team, and he's had to learn that. And I think, you know what? I think the catalyst was when he got dropped for the Newcastle game. When he got dropped for the Newcastle game, the boy come on with purpose, and I think he's now thinking, right, I've got to be on it. And even today, like in the game today, he's in the places he's there in regards to the chances. Like he's not missing them. Keepers are making saves. Like the one today where he's headed it instinctively. Keeper's made a good save there, you know. But I think he will hopefully, touch wood, get better and better the more he understands the game and gets used to the game. And you know what? All credit to the coaching staff as well. I mean, you know, he's not the first player that they've done this, by the way. The coaching staff have been consistent in getting players and then coaching them and making them better players. And that's why I had so much faith in regards to Nunes will come good, because I've got belief in the coaching staff. The coaching staff have done it since they've been there. So hopefully he just keeps improving. And you know, with strikers, when they score goals, confidence has gone boom.
Okay. So we have who was your player of the match?
Good. I think I'd go Gravenberg. Bit of a mixed bag, but always showed for the ball. Always was willing to take the ball under pressure. So I always like players that are helping out their team. Like, don't go hiding. Team need you to take the ball under pressure. Like, help out. So I just like the way he just showed for the team, and his assist for Diaz was just
on the money.
Quality.
Yeah,
Quality.
On the money.
Quality.
Like it was like an old school cheesy goal that we used to score playing kind of Pro Evo on the PlayStation,
Yeah.
where a man just kind of goes down the wing, that sharp pass into the middle. But the thing is, so many players get it wrong, and just a tech, because even when he hit it first time, I thought, has he seen that? I was like, look.
No, he did. He did look up. See,
Yeah,
when he was
exactly.
running, he took a quick look up and saw him, and that's why he said, "Okay, I'm whipping this."
And this is it, innit? It's that next level of ability, innit? That cool in game states like that. It's always doing technically the correct thing to do. So yeah, Gravenberch for me.
Okay, Gravenberch for you. Billy agrees with you. He says Gravenberch as well. He says Salah came on and was just loving life down the wing. He looked like he didn't even get out of second gear. And the question that we are going to ask, okay, was it a pen?
Don't care. The referee gave it. It's a pen. Nunes has scored.
I said I don't care. But, all right, would you be happy if that was given against you?
Absolutely not. Of course, I wouldn't be happy. I'm not happy that anyone scores against us. Anyone megs my players. I'm just not happy with any of all that. But I get what Billy's saying in regards to it was a soft penalty. I get that. But you know what? If it's for your team, you grab it, you take it, score it, move on.
When you watch it again, he actually caught him on the follow through. That's what he done. Diaz has touched the ball, and the players missed it, and then he's caught him on the follow through. So it was a bit harsh.
It was clumsy, mate. Clumsy defender. You go to ground, you do all that. Clumsy lad.
You've given the referee a decision to make.
Yeah. He'll learn from it, the lad. I'm sure.
Yeah. Hopefully not by the time they play us again. Billy says, I feel like the player slid for the block, didn't actually make contact. Yellow for Diaz for a dive. No, Billy. You've seen that all wrong, mate.
See what I mean? This is why I said I don't care.
You've seen it all wrong. He did actually catch Diaz. Diaz has touched the ball past him, and the ball is now going way, way, way away from danger. And the player slid, and now he's caught him. That's what's happened. So there was contact.
Yeah, for me it was for me it was a penalty. I think it was soft from the position of the defender's intent, and like he doesn't mean to foul Diaz, and obviously the touch has made the ball go quite a far distance. But I just think ultimately like it was a foul. Like it was in the box.
You know what? I've just watched it again, and like I said, if you're a defender in any of your weight, you don't go to ground and you don't just hang your leg out. He's hung his leg out, and everyone knows. Every player knows this in football now. Any touch, you're giving the referee a decision to try and make. And the defender, he was on his back. He stretched out his leg. He tried to pull his back leg. He pulled his leg away, and he's caught Diaz. It's a pen.
It's a pen. So, do you think that we definitely had to bring on those guys to see out the game?
I don't think so. I think we would have seen out the game regardless. I guess Klopp's used to giving our main guys a certain amount of minutes per week because these guys have been used to playing Champions League games, that them playing in the league as well. So he probably wants to kind of, I guess, get their load to be more than just 90 minutes per week. So he probably wants them in a position where they can all play probably a game and a half a week and be at that kind of level where they can maintain that load. So for me, yeah, it kind of made sense. And also as well, I guess, by rotating certain players today, it then gives you the option of them playing them again on Sunday as well. So for me, it's just good squad management.
Yeah. You know what? For me, I had a donkey today, though. I don't care what anybody says, mate. Shimikas. I thought he was bloody awful.
He's been awful for the last few weeks,
I thought he was bloody awful today. Well, and I actually thought Virgil did very, very well today. Oh, Virgil. I thought he did very, very well today.
Yeah. So I think Virgil's played well all season, which seems like and I said this at the start of the year against Chelsea, and then I can't remember who our second game was, when I was saying that the team structure was letting down the players, but our individual defending was actually quite strong. I thought Virgil again was just very good today. Like I know he's been cussed a lot in the Dutch media. I'm not quite sure what that's really about. It's probably more than just how he's playing. Tsimikas, yeah, it almost felt like he wasn't taking it seriously, and I'm sure that's probably not the case. But there was that occasion where he had the ball on the counter and Harvey stood right.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, only someone like Maradona has the right to not pass the ball because he's going to do something else with the ball. Like, you are left back, pass it.
Let the ball go, man.
Yeah, so it was things like that. Things like that.
It's going to be interesting. I think Tsimikas is on his way down. I said it. I think I said it last season. I think he's on his way down, mate. He's on his way out.
Yep, I think so as well. I think so. I think he knows it as well.
Yeah, it seems like he came on the back end of when obviously we was doing really well, and now it seems like now we've kind of we've brought new players in, and we're doing a new style of play, and it seems like he hasn't taken that on board. He hasn't, and it feels like he's getting left behind. And I think, well, I haven't watched the game like I said, but if he's making those sort of errors, like, come on, man, he should be doing a lot better.
Passing, everything, man. Today he just wasn't at the races today, man. As they say, definitely wasn't at the races, man.
What was the game? What was the game when he was on fire? Was it this season or last season when he was on fire? And I thought, what?
It's got to be last season.
It's got to be last season because he played really well. Oh, I can't remember what the game was, but he was on the front foot. I remember he was on the front foot and he done exactly what we used to see in Robbo, stepping in, getting the ball, making that darting run down the left, and then he's putting a great ball. And I thought, you know what? He might have the light bulb might have come on and he might have kind of progressed and kicked on, but it seems like he's the joker of the pack. Whenever I see like little videos of it in the background,
it's always him making a busting a little joke or putting a little prank.
You know, which is great for team morale, team spirit. But then you've also got the job to do on the pitch.
That's right.
So I hope for his sake that he pulls his socks up literally, because at the moment Robbo's stone on, isn't he? But he's not any competition to Robbo, I don't think.
Nah. Personally, if we can get a 25-30 mil for him, I'd let him go. Let him go and get a replacement in, personally.
100%. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I do rate him though.
I was listening a couple seasons. I was one of his biggest fans a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, agree. And I felt like there was a moment where actually his form was better than Robbo's, but Robbo was still getting minutes, and it wasn't fair in my opinion.
It was for a spell.
But again, I feel like because there's been a couple games where in pre-season, I guess they were experimenting with it, and in the second half of those games, we had Tsimikas doing what Trent was doing and coming in midfield. So I don't know if coaching staff are seeing him as an option to do that this season. But yeah, I would probably let him go personally. I think get someone in younger, somebody who is probably got a bit more of a high ceiling who can challenge Robbo, or maybe they go for somebody who can also play as a left-sided centre-back as well.
That's what we are looking at, actually. I can't remember the player's name now, but there's
Hincapie.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Very strong links that we could be going for him. But the only thing is that Bayern Leverkusen wouldn't let him go now because they're doing so well. So it would probably have to be, or in the summer, it'd have to be next season. Yeah, but 45 mil, apparently. So yeah.
It does feel a bit steep, but I just think he gives you options, man. Like he can play left. Yeah, like he can play left back. He's got a very good cross. He can play left-sided centre back, and he can he can play centre back in the back four as well. I don't know if he's elite as a centre back in the back four, but I'd say he probably is elite as a left-sided centre back in the three, and then he's very good at fullback as well. Obviously, he's physical, he's tall, and he's a very good passer as well. So, makes sense.
I'll be interested in that. Going to send another one of them. Big shouts goes out to Mr. Ben Doak as well, signing a new long-term contract with us.
Happy at that. Happy at that.
Very happy with that. I must say, very, very happy with that. Boy's got a high ceiling, man. So yeah, let's get them pinned down before the flipping vultures come sniffing. Definitely. So,
question on Ben Doak. Yeah, question. If we were to let go of Mo next season, do you see Ben as somebody who could be back up to Mo's replacement, or would you be looking to maybe sign 2 players to replace Mo?
No, I think I'd sign. He'd be back up to Mo's replacement for me. I don't. If you sign the right person, I don't think you need to sign 2. Sign the right person, you don't need to sign 2. But you're never going to get another Mo.
Yeah, this is it.
You're never going to get another Mo. So
yeah, totally agree with that one.
You just need to find that player that's going to work well in your system.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I like Ben Doak. He's 17?
17.
He's 17. He's got abundance of potential. And look, he's understudied to Mo Salah at the moment. It might be getting in somebody and he be an understudy again for him. But I think by the age of 20, 21, 22, I think, you know what, we might have a player on our hands. So,
telling you, Billy's got Estopian and Rico Henry.
You know what? Billy knows ball, you know. Billy knows ball. I'm not gonna lie. I like Henry, you know. I do.
Is he the one who's out injured now?
Yeah, I think so.
He got injured. It's going to be. Is it the rest of the season?
Oh, is it? Ah, shame.
I can't remember. I know it's a long-term injury though, but yeah.
Who was that? Sorry, the
Rico Henry.
Rico Henry.
Yeah, remember the name Luca Netz as well, young left back for Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Rico Henry, you know what? Rico Henry.
You couldn't spell the Mönchengladbach, Billy.
Billy, I got to be honest. I would abbreviate like that too, mate.
Cutting corners.
Yeah.
Luca Netz. Yeah. Okay.
Luca Netz.
All right.
You know, Rico Henry's one of those. He's one of those players. He looks very, very good, and he looks like a handful at Brentford. But then it's like, what would he be like if he then made that jump up?
Well, this is it.
You know,
this is it.
Have we seen enough?
No,
you know what? I see Brentford, and he's a threat. And he runs all day. He's got a good left foot, and he's really good. And like I said, he's good in a Brentford side.
Yeah.
You know, so he's one of those. If you take him out of that Brentford side and then put him in a more, no disrespect to Brentford, but a more Liverpool,
advanced,
and a more advanced top level side, will he get as many opportunities and will he be as good?
So I think for me with Henry, I could see him replacing Tsimikas. I'm not sure if I see him as the level to replace Robbo. The Brighton fullback, I'm not going to attempt to say his name, Estupian or what his name. I think I could see him replacing Robbo. I think he's got quite a high ceiling. He's physical, he's strong, he's dynamic. I can see him being like first choice for a top club.
Look at that. What Billy just said there, Dr. Blake. Reckon you could get it for 20, 30 million, maybe 40 a push, and he would be battling Robbo for his spot.
I'm telling you now, if I get a job in the Premiership, Billy, you're my director of football, bruv. Because he's popping out these names and X, Y, Z. So, he would be like director of football or something, like head of recruitment or something. Madness. But there are some players around, and like there's all good players. And like I said, Liverpool, I've got this mantra of getting players in and improving them. So even if they brought in Rico Henry, I would believe that he's coming in and he will improve under our management. But hey, he's a Brentford player, so
you've got him all gas now. Look,
now
man's going in tomorrow and handing his resignation. Sweet bruv. handed his resume. Don't do it, Billy. You got bills to pay, bro. Don't do it. Yeah.
Hey, you know who's good as well? I always forget his name. The left back from Wolves, the French you.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He
I know you're talking about now.
played weekend just gone. I can never think of his name. But I think he could play for a top team.
I don't think Salah went past him once. You know,
he always gives Mo a tough game.
Yeah.
Like he's got good. I think he's near 6 foot, maybe about 5'10", 5'11". So good height for a fullback. I've seen him cover at centre back on a couple of occasions. Very good going forward. Good athlete. Obviously, he needs to kind of be a bit more mentally switched on at all times, but still a young player. But yeah, if we thought someone like my man and we sold Simicast, I'd be very happy with that. I rate him, man. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, not bad at all. What's Billy saying now that asked to Brees? I've been saying Jeremy Doku for a couple of years now, and long and behold, he's playing for City. Yeah, he looks serious as well.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Big shouts goes out to across the pond. What was up with the purple? Yeah, the purple kit.
I was thinking about getting that, you know.
Same. I like it.
Yeah. It's between the purple and the green and white one.
Yeah, agree. I like both.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We got. That's the main thing is we got them points, man, and we move on. I just want to make sure that we're taking this competition serious, and I think we can definitely be winners in this competition. Definitely do, man.
Well, the culture of the club demands it.
Yeah. And I just think we can make progress in this and still rotate and play our strongest 11 in the Premier League.
8 Nori.
There you go. Well done, bro.
8 Nori. Yeah.
Good player, man. Good player.
Yeah. No, seriously. I was watching him hard again when he was playing them. I've seen him before, but I was watching because I remember I was like, first off, it was early days. I was like, come on, Mo, man. Make the boy take the ball off you like that. And he was like, a little bit later, I was like, Mo, what's going on? What again?
Fix up, Mo. Fix up.
Yeah, and I was like, let me really watch this boy. When I think about it, I don't think Mo went past him once.
He always gives Mo a good game, man. Second half, when you check it, Mo's playing up front. So he's now in that gap between El Nouri and the centre-back. So it's not even like he's going up against him 1v1 anymore. But I just think, I think if Mo had stayed on the wing, but then I think it's a quiet game for Mo, man.
Don't worry, Billy. You got a lot more to worry about than your kits, mate. I'll tell you that much. Like, our green looks better than Chelsea. Mint green third kit, even as a Chelsea fan, I have to admit, stinks. Yeah, you got a lot more to. Kits are not what you need to worry about, bro. Right now, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, real talk, bro. Real talk. How much billion? What, to be 14th, 13th, or 14th, and not a striker in sight? Can't even strike a match.
Bro, please tell me, man, I've seen that meme that they're doing it about Jackson, where they're growing the goal by like a percentage. So he takes a left-footed shot on the angle, and it's terrible. So there's this meme where it's like they grow the goal by 25% and the shot's still wide. 100% is still wide. It's nothing like 300%. Like the goal's now this wide, and it finally gets the net. It's a good meme, man. Good meme.
There's a few of them going about. Definitely a few of them going about. Big shouts to all those. You know what I mean? I had to check in on Mr. B from the Man United agenda to make sure that he could mark himself safe after recent events. You know what I mean? He assured me that he was still alive and kicking. He's all right. You know what I mean? Amonde Juma as well. He's still alive and kicking. He's all right. So big shouts goes out to all those. And I noticed our Paxton Road, which is another one of our sister channels, they got a lot of gas going on at the moment now. These Totty boys, you know what I mean? A lot of gas going on. We look forward to this weekend to see what happens. You know what I mean? Because I know you've seen it, man, with Shane in the group, Dr. Blake. You know what I mean? One of these thumbs.
Gas. To be fair, though, Madison is a good player, though.
No, he is.
I do rate it.
We spoke about him coming to us.
Yeah.
We spoke about him coming to us.
We
was concerned about his injuries. But yeah, the boy can board. He can board. He definitely can.
Yeah, and it does feel like for the first time, Spurs have got system where they can go at teams and be on the front foot and cause teams trouble. So yeah, it'd be interesting game to see still.
It's just a matter of time before Spurs become Spursy. It's only a matter of time.
Let them have their little, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So,
do you know what I'd say though? Just quickly on the Spurs thing. This manager feels a bit different, you know.
No, he does.
He gives me kind of Klopp vibes. He's obviously like he's a different kind of character, but there's something quite special about him. Like that press conference clip where he takes a question from the kid with the Down syndrome and all that, and the way he's not playing down like the fans, and he's just being like believe, trust. That's what being a footballer is about, and he's got his whole kind of man of the people vibe. That like I think they have a good season, you know.
Yeah. Well, as I'm excited to watch Liverpool. Obviously, wait for Liverpool's game on Sunday against West Ham, but then obviously I'm really excited to see that Arsenal-Tottenham game as well. Boy, that's going to be a bit of a cracker.
It definitely will. So, gentlemen, predictions for Liverpool-West Ham this weekend.
Well, the Hammers ain't started too badly. I mean, they lost the last Premiership game against Man City, but other than that,
they gave him a good game, though. You know.
Yeah. But other than that, you know, they've drawn one, lost and won 3. And West Ham are always one of those teams like they're just you don't know what West Ham's going to turn up. It might be the West Ham that's be on point. But anyway, cut a long story short, it's going to be a Liverpool win. And I think we're going to carry on the trend of conceding the goal. So I think we're going to win 3-1.
Okay. Another 3-1.
Yeah. I've got a similar, you know. West Ham have been good this season.
Yeah.
They have been. I think their recruitment post-Rice has been very good as well. They got some borders in the midfield.
Did you just say Rice?
He said post-Rice.
Oh, post-Rice, sorry.
Post-Rice, yeah. Like I like how they've replaced him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think about the City game, and I think about the types of players that cause them trouble. I think we've got in that. You saw about Doku going wide, taking on the fullback. Diaz will do that all game. And I just think Nunes seems to like playing against West Ham. And his pace and power, although their centre backs are also quite powerful, I think I think he gives Zuma a real difficult night, and I think Mo will be on fire as well. So once we don't do anything stupid and give them easy chances on the counters, that's going to be mainly Robbo being disciplined and not giving up that channel for Bowen to run into. I think 2-0.
Oh, 2-0. Okay. So across the pond says Liverpool 2-1, Darwin and Salah, and kudos for Hammers. He scored 2 tonight for them.
2 he got.
Yeah, he got 2.
Kudos is another one that I'm thinking, why? How? Like, how are we not kind of tapping him up?
They've won tonight as well. So they'll be going into the game on a high. They won 3-1 as well, and they came back from 1-0 down.
But you know what? I want, whatever happens, I want Liverpool to win. And then I want Salah to bang in a goal, all right. And I want to see Klopp go to Antonio and say, "Listen, bruv, shut your mouth and keep your business. Keep out our business."
Oh yeah. I don't know. His braids are too tight, bruv. I don't know what he's talking about.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I listened to the actual podcast this morning, actually, where he made some of those comments, and. You know what? It's one of these things where, see, when you read the copy, you'll feel like, shut up, bruv, innit? What are you talking about? Like, mind your own business. When you hear the whole interview, a lot of it is banter, tongue-in-cheek, and...
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't sound as bad, but the quotes alone, it more than enough fuel for Klopp to say, put it in the dressing room and
say, man. That's what you should do. Just put that in the dressing room and, have a look at that.
Go for it.
Yeah. I know it's banter and all that, but like
Bingy says 3-1, and across the pond says he wanted Kudus at Arsenal. He is a talent. He does look like a talented player as well, man. For real.
Oh, he's been a baller, and people have been looking at him for a while. I don't know why people haven't taken a chance on him.
Billy says 2-2. James
Oh,
Ward-Prowse
hello.
free kick. Kudos and Salah and Nunes. Ooh.
We got an interesting run, you know. So we got West Ham, Brighton, and then
I think we got
City.
Tottenham.
Yeah, West
Tottenham.
Ham, Brighton, City.
So
West Ham,
Bingy
Tottenham,
says
Brighton.
his team would be Ali, Robbo, Matip, VVD, Gomez, Gravenberch, Mac 10, Zobo,
Zobo.
Diaz, and Nunes. Nunes and Mo.
Not a bad
So
signing.
you start Matip over Kanate, yeah?
I would, simply because Konate's just played today and his fitness record isn't great. If we're going to be playing Gomez right back, then Konate's ability to cover Trent's gaps aren't needed as much. And Max also quite aerially dominant as well to deal with West Ham's set pieces. I agree with most of his team, but that being he said, I'm just going to stress it again. Like I saw it on Twitter today. The disrespect Curtis Jones is getting is unreal, man. Like the man's enough. Like the man's, for me, is in our first choice midfield, and has to play. Has to play.
Across the pond says, I love that Gravenberch. Good signing. Bingy says, oh yeah, we forgot we got Leicester in the cup.
End of the cup.
Yeah,
Back and go.
but he's saying, yeah, he's getting back to fitness. That's why he's left out. Konate,
Yeah,
you're okay. Billy said, I would swap Mac 10 for Endo, but he would keep Matip in the team. Okay, so we're all going for a Liverpool win against West Ham this weekend. Super Sunday. Another 3 points, gents. Another 3 points. I don't care how it comes. Just another 3 points and keep the pressure on. That's what we do. Keep it moving. So do remember, peoples, like, share, and subscribe. And it's all about next week, Thursday, 10 o'clock, same place, right here. It's all about Kop Talk. That's the one, man. Remember that. That's the one that should be on your lips. It's Kop Talk. Remember. Best place to be, peoples. Yeah? So
On
tell
the
a friend,
Thursday
tell a
night.
friend. Get back to us next week. Okay. All right. We out, peoples. We out.